Man, I got to tell you some amazing stuff. I got to tell you some amazing stuff that's been going on with me. I just can't hold it in anymore. I got to talk about it. And I mean it as encouragement for you because I know we're in a dark, 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 dark place right now, and I have been too. And there's dark stuff going on in the world. It's happening all around us, and we know all that. We talked about that late last night, early this morning. But you know, that doesn't stop me from literally hitting my face on the ground before my Creator and begging Him to be more like Him. I want to be more like Him. That's all I want to do. Man, I want to be more like Him. He's so perfect. And I'm such a piece of crap, you know. But man, I got to tell you, He is more perfect than I ever imagined. My whole life, running from Him, 25 years, running away from Him, running from what He's told me to do, running from this, running from that, and always ending up at the end of the day in misery. More misery than I'd ever care to recount. And when I really hit my face to the ground over 2 months ago, on my birthday on December 21st, 2020, my 44th birthday, hit my face on the ground finally, and I was like, man, I'm yours. I am yours. And I meant it finally for the first time in my life. I'm not saying I'm perfect with it every single minute of every single day by any means at all. It's a constant self-worship thing that we have. We all do. We battle it. It's part of living for our Creator on this earth where we are right now. But so I battle that. I do. But He knows the heart, right? He knows the heart. And that my heart finally, He's so comforting. Just talking about it, man. He's right. You talk about Him, He's right there with you. He's right there with you when you start talking about Him. Ooh, man, I love Him so much. Man, I love Him. Man, I love Him. I love Him. I love Him like I never knew I could love anything or anyone. In many years of my life, I don't know how much I've talked about it, but many years of my life, I realized I wasn't capable of genuine love. I couldn't give it, couldn't feel it, couldn't any of those things that what you're supposed to do with love. And I hate the word love because it's so all encompassing. Yeah, I remember hearing one time, like in, I don't know, some language up in Alaska. What are they? The Eskimos, the Eskimo language or something. I don't know if this is true or not, but it seemed legit when I remember hearing this and kind of looking at it for a minute, years ago. And they have dozens, if not hundreds of different words that in their language all translate to the word love. So someone can say, man, I love Coke. I love Pepsi. I love ketchup on my hot dog. And those are different words in most languages. In English, we have such a simple, stupid language that we've dumbed it down to. We just say love for everything. Did you know? I remember learning in high school. I remember my English teacher telling me that William Shakespeare, pen name, William Shakespeare, had a English vocabulary of like 40,000 words, right? 40,000 English words. And this was back in, when I was in high school, it was back in like 94. And she's like, and the average American, and this again is in 94, has a vocabulary, and I remember she said it was like 3,000 or 4,000 words, like 1/10 of what they used to have back then. Language was so different. So the English language is so simplified, and love is such a simple word that means way too many things in our language. But I wasn't capable of love. I came out of a long marriage where I never felt I loved properly at all. I never felt that that's where I belonged, and then I started dating for years, trying to find someone that I loved, that love. And the more I did that, the more I was like, I'm just never going to love. I'm just never going to love. Maybe I'll get in a relationship or something and have a certain amount of feeling, a certain amount of attraction or a certain amount of things we have in common or blah, 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 blah. But as far as genuine, just pour out that love on someone, I just didn't think. I wrote it off. I did. And wow, 2.5 months ago, I learned what Yahweh's love is. And when I learned that finally, fully, when I learned that, that's all I have in me anymore. It's just, oh man, I just want to share everything with everybody all the time. I can't help it. Seriously, like dancing and stuff like that, like dancing. I haven't danced. I used to be a really good dancer. I did. I was, in the early 90s and when I was in my 20s and stuff. And, I've always been a rapper and stuff like that. And so back in the 90s when you rapped, you danced. And, I did performances and stuff. I wasn't like big time or nothing like that. But I did some performances. And I was good. I could dance. And, the last time I danced was like 2001 in Wichita, Kansas. I remember it. I was at a club. And there was a hot girl or something, And I was traveling through, and I was snowed in for the night in a hotel. And I danced, and I never danced after that. 2001, 20 years until January of this year, I danced. There was a song on my phone. I was just, all the things I'd been learning from God and just walking in so much love and happiness, even though my life at that time was about to change very severely, and my relationship was really, 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 really struggling big time. But man, I just had so much joy. And I remember I was in the kitchen, and I had on J.O. and Mike Maranatha. I think that was when I had first discovered their music. I had on like The Matrix or that series. I don't remember one of their just crazy good songs. And I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking, I'm making supper. And I always like to do meals and things like that and kind of, and I'm just kind of bouncing around the kitchen and I just start giving it, man. It's just like those old moves I used to have. Just start my legs, I'm 44 years old. I haven't really trusted my legs in years and, things like that. And I just went out. I was like, oh my goodness, like, holy cow. I guess that's what they mean. That old crazy cliche saying, the joy of the Lord, right? It's just as real. It's just like, whoa, And it was funny because like our next door neighbor, our kitchen windows are aligned, and I always leave the curtains open and they always leave theirs open, or she does. And so I'm just, I've got my back to the window and I'm doing something and I'm just giving it. I'm giving it hard, and I do like a spin move and I turn right and she's looking out the window. She's looking out the window and she's smiling. She's laughing. I wave at her, probably thinking I lost my damn mind, but it's true. Just happy. I didn't know why. I didn't have a reason specifically, other than I was learning my Creator and learning who I am in Him, learning how to pursue and be more like Him. Be more like Him. I got to shut that fan off. Hold on 1 second. Totally forgot to turn that off before I started. I'm sure that's pretty loud, but I'm just going to let it ride out. It'll shut off here pretty shortly. So then it was after that. A couple weeks ago, I was at home and I was sitting at my computer working on something, a video or something, working on a podcast. This was like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and my phone was in the other room and it starts ringing and I jump up and I start running toward the phone, and I found myself skipping. I didn't even know my legs still knew how to skip, but they did. And I was like, oh, what are you doing, Travis? You're crazy. Jeez, what the heck? But it was real, it's real. It's happiness. And so what I want to tell you about is kind of just very, very high level, but kind of how my life has changed in so many amazing ways in such a short amount of time ever since I just laid down my life truly to my Creator. I can't tell you how much of a struggle my entire life has been trying to battle against the system on my own outside of my Creator. And I've always battled the system because I've always known it's bullshit, always known it's bullshit. I've tried to live in it, but battle it simultaneously within my own silly ways. But since I laid down my life, man, so he, at that point, after December 21st, when I really made that decision, and it wasn't even a hard decision, it was automatic to lay down my life to him on that day, he really immediately started to show me so many things I learned about him through the things I've been talking about on this channel and sound and all these things. It's just really brought a lot of who he is to light in my mind. And as I'm learning all this, I'm getting closer and closer to him. And simultaneously, the relationship I had been in for 7 years just was crumbling down. It was just crumbling down. We weren't even talking at all anymore. At all. We had nothing left. I don't know what happened. It was just crazy. It just fell apart. And by the end of it, I was like, well, I have no other choice now. I have to leave. I have to. It's over. It's just done with me. And so I did. And, it sounds like, oh, that must have been really hard and sad. And it was hard. And yeah, it was a little sad. And it still is. I mean, 7 years with someone. She's a great woman. She's a great woman. We just, always bashing heads together and just couldn't figure it out. So God pulled me out of that. I know he did. Because he's like, it's part of your past life. It's part of your past life. And so he pulled me out. And I never felt better about it. When I left, I had really nowhere to go. I know I've talked about this, but I just want to remind you for what I'm about to tell you, the things that have been going on since. In the past, we'd broken up a few times. I had some separations. Man, I'm just brokenhearted and just can't think about nothing but her. And I just lay there and basically suck my thumb. You know what I mean? Like, take me back and all that. And this time I was like, no, this is different. This is my decision. And I think God has some things, a lot of things way, way, way better for me. So I did, and I left. And so I started immediately when I left. I went to my parents because that's the only place I had to go on that moment's notice, and immediately started these Real Talk podcasts. Now, God told me right around Christmas or shortly thereafter, because I had given up. The Beast System Revealed channel disappeared December 8th, and I had this little YouTube channel, but I wasn't doing much with it, and I kind of thought I was done. I thought I was done with the whole thing. I just thought I was done with this whole thing. I've played my role. I've did what I could do on the Mark of the Beast and all that, and then I'm over. It's done. It's over. And it was one given day, he's like, nope, you've just started. You've just started, he told me. I'm like, damn it. I thought I was done. I've just started. Like, that was exhausting, what I did on that, what I was doing on that channel. Vaping, Travis. But at the same time, I was really excited because he's telling me, I was just getting started and that it was such a crazy, wild ride of an experience with the Beast System Revealed channel to say I'm just getting started, man. What is that going to look like? And so that kind of got me excited and scared at the same time. And so anyway, I got back to my parents and right away I knew what to do. And I made Real Talk Podcast Episode 1. And I think I call it something like AI is beginning to fall apart or, something like that. I didn't really know what I was doing or what my plan was or nothing like that. In fact, I wasn't even taking it very seriously. I literally wasn't even using a microphone. I was just using my phone and laying in bed and just yapping, just talking from my heart. And God's like, yeah, that's what I want you to do. I want you to talk from your heart. That's what I want you to do. And so I just kind of embraced that. I started been doing that ever since. And every time I have something you need to talk about, just talk from your heart. Press record and talk from your heart. That's what you're going to do for now. It's time to minister to my people. It's time to minister to my people. And so I've just been obedient on that ever since, and continue to pursue God and pursue Yahweh and who he is and who I am in him as much as I can. And when he gives me something to talk about, I talk about it. And I hope it makes a difference. And so what's happened in a very short period of time since that, it's unbelievable. You know, I'm the kind of guy that, I don't like being alone. I don't. But I've never been in a relationship. I've been in, I guess, 3, really. I've only been in 3 real relationships, like 4 years or more kind of thing. And it's just never been what I envisioned, ever. It's just none of them. They're all different in different ways, but never that thing that I always knew I need, I want, I need. I feel like I need, because I'm crazy. I'm crazy, man. I am crazy. And I can't shut my face and get all worked up over all these different things all the time. And, like my ex used to say, you're more than 2 hands full. People say, oh, he's a handful. And she's like, no, he's more than 2 hands full. And it's true, I am. I really am. You might like listening to my podcast. I don't know if you'd like living with me, to be honest with you. I don't know. It must come with some rewards. I don't know. It must, because all I ever do is annoy myself, and I still can't shut up. But it's true. That's how I feel. But wow. So God was after I left that, and I was at my parents, and I'm doing these real talks and stuff, and kind of haven't been doing my freelance work at all. I had some money and just kind of been sitting on that and just working on this. Let me say, how can you do this for free? Well, I can. I do. I just do. You could too. It doesn't take much. It takes a laptop and a microphone. But God started telling me, Travis, I'm telling you, he told me this. He told me this flat out. He said, I'm going to bring you someone, and she's going to be perfect. She's going to be perfect for you. Perfect for you. And he said, I'm going to drop her right in your lap. He said that, just like that. I'm like, whatever. That's got to be my thought. Whatever. And I said, no. I want to show you. I want to show you. And she's always been there. She's been waiting. And you've been waiting, and neither one of you knew, and he's telling me all this stuff. I'm like, oh, that's great. Whatever. Sounds good. You let me know, kind of thing. And so the first thing, like within a week of that, like I said, I just been being obedient, doing what God tells me to do, and seeking him every day. And within a week, I don't remember how it happened. I don't remember nothing. I don't remember how it triggered or what triggered it or nothing else. All of a sudden, I'm talking with someone. And it happened through my channel, I guess you could say, but not really, like through social media, through Twitter. Laugh at Twitter all you want, but it's where we are right now. I'm telling you, they're really trying to kill that platform and make us feel like we have no voice at all whatsoever anymore. We have a bigger voice than appears. I promise you, we do. I have posts literally where I'll have 5 shares and it'll show 2 impressions total. So if I have 5 shares, I know at least 5 people saw the damn thing. So it's garbage numbers. It doesn't mean anything. There's a lot more people seeing this stuff and comments being deleted and stuff like that, but you're making an impression. But anyway, so we started chatting very briefly on there. And right away, I was like, I just had a feeling. And it wasn't like I thought she was hot or nothing like that. It literally, like her picture is an avatar. It's not even, her. It's just, I knew nothing about her, but we chatted a little bit, which, I do once in a while. And I was like, something different here. And I was like, let's talk. This is stupid, chatting on Twitter or whatever. Let's chat. Let's talk. So I gave her my number. She gave me hers. I don't remember which. And we got on the phone that night, and we talked for 12 hours, over 12 hours straight, from about 5 o'clock at night, 5:30 to about 5:30 in the morning. And we had only just begun. Talking. It was like, what the hell? I hate talking on the phone. And, talked every night. Talked every night after that for many, many hours. And finally decided, very quickly, I shouldn't say finally, I'm trying to follow my own advice of the videos I've been making on here, on these Real Talk Therapy podcasts, about men and women getting together. And I'm not being a hypocrite, because I'm following what God is telling me to tell you, and he's telling me to tell me as well. And so I moved on it, and we moved on it, and we're like, let's meet. We ended up being pretty close, really close, surprisingly, in proximity, really close. And we met, and we're still meeting. 6 days later, we're still meeting. She's amazing, and it's not, man, it was right away, first 3-4 days, 5, it was magic. And man, life's life, and spiritual attacks are spiritual attacks. And yesterday started out real rough. I don't know what happened there. Something was rough, and all this baggage we both have. I have baggage, so much baggage from relationships, and everyone's got baggage. And all of a sudden, we're starting to treat each other like it's like these familiar spirits. I'm like, she'd say something. I'm like, why would you say that? It doesn't make sense. That's like something I would hear from such and such, And then I'd say something, and she'd be like, you're acting, I'd be like, whoa, wait, And so it's not, when I talk about men and women getting together, it's going to be easy. I said the God is going to bring us together in an easy way. I didn't say that the process necessarily is going to be easy, because we have to look at ways of forming these new relationships outside of the way we used to do it. And the way the world is right now, it seems to be, to me, that that requires making more of steps, more commitments, much quicker when you know it's right, or when you feel it might be right. And if you find out it's not right, that's fine too. And so we're both in kind of that mode right now. Yesterday was great. After we figured out what the hell was going on there, we just kind of got out, and it was beautiful. Walked around, hung out. I walked around a lake, and sat down in a bar and had a beer, on a Wednesday afternoon, and talked to a pretty cool bartender who I gave my YouTube channel to. Real cool bartender. He's a musician. Some bands out in, he's talking about playing out in Los Angeles, stuff like that. Met some pretty cool people. Real cool guy. Except for the mask. But I know, dude, you got to wear it. You ain't got a choice. But yeah, before I left, I gave him my channel, because I thought, he might be interested. So if he's listening, hey, what's up? It was nice talking to you yesterday. But so we just hung out and had a good time. We came back. She cooked supper, had a great supper and just good conversation, and and kind of went to bed. And then I, got triggered by God to wake up last night and make that video, but which was important, the one that I released late last night. But woke up this morning, man, she's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. Such an amazing heart. Such an amazing heart. Like, and she's just like me. She's crazy, just like me. When we talk, it's like I feel like I'm listening to myself, and I'm like, but she adds more. She adds more, way more to what I'm thinking. I'm telling you, since I've been here, these podcasts, I think, from ones I've re-listened to, I tend to re-listen to it, each one after I record, before I publish, to make sure I don't sound like a total doofus. But I feel like I've gone to a new level, and a lot of that is through conversations with her. I'm telling you, like, the conversations we've had in the last, I guess, 2 weeks over the phone and in person have just inspired me and helped me learn. And man, she's amazing. Can't wait till she comes home tonight. So, I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know if it goes where I hope it goes, where I think it's going. I'll let you know who she is. And I've already talked to her and put a little pressure on her, too much pressure. I'm like, we need to make a video. You and I, let's just sit here and talk the way we talk. But let's just put the mic in the middle and press record. And man, our conversations. I wish we could have recorded every conversation we ever had, because it's like you talk about so many things you forget after a while. You forget, but she's great. She's great. This funny thing, she was born in a small town in Poland, And last time I was out of the country, my brother lives in Eastern Europe. He lives in Košice, Slovakia, which is on, Slovakia borders Poland. And so the last time I was out of the country, and matter of fact, the last night I spent out of the country was in, I don't know how to say it. It's a mountain range. I thought it was like High Tetras or something like that. But it was this village, a little town, and we stayed with my brother and his wife. I stayed when I was visiting there in a spa kind of place. It's funny, over there they call them relax. Like the actual word for spa is like relax. I thought that was funny. But so I was telling her about that. For some reason it came up, and she's like, was it such and such town? And was it this? I was like, yeah, that's the one. She's like, oh yeah, I know. It's where she was born. It was the same little town in Poland that I was in 2010, end of 2010, around Christmas of 2010. So I thought, there's just been so many parallels like that. There's just so many things, but yeah. So I was like, yeah, we need to make some videos. Hey, you should have a YouTube channel. And oh my God, you have so many amazing things to say. And I'm like, here's going to be the name of your YouTube channel. And I'm like freaking her out. She's like, I'm not ready for any of that. I'm like, I'm sorry. I get excited, With someone as smart as her, man, I was like, man, you got to get that knowledge out there. But I understand too. At the same time, people are like, there's maybe just time to focus on the people closest to you. So there's that too. But anyway, hopefully I can talk her into it. If not, that's cool too. Maybe she'll be so good it'll be like kind of like I feel like, I shouldn't say this out loud, but it's true. Like I feel with like a Melissa and Aaron Dykes, whatever you think of them, True Stream Media. I always think, when they have a video, and no disrespect to Aaron and all that, but when I hear Melissa, I want to listen. When I hear Melissa's voice talking, I want to listen. When I hear Aaron's, I want to try to listen, and I normally don't make it all the way through the video. So it's just, I'm afraid like that might be her. And you might be like, all right, Travis, we don't want to hear from you anymore. We want to hear from her. And she's that smart. She's crazy smart and funny and an amazing smile. And it's just real good. So that's one thing. Just boom. That just happened. Boom. Since I just, it's amazing. So today, long story short, as I'm sure if you follow me for a while, to make my money, I'm a freelance writer. I write. I'm like a ghost writer. I write articles on pretty much any subject you can imagine, and a lot on WordPress development. I'm good at WordPress development, so I know how to write about how to do it and teach other people how to do it. And so I've written for this one woman. I've written for her very consistently since last fall, since like August or so, kind of when I stopped doing my B System Revealed channel, when I got back together with my ex last fall, and all of a sudden I started getting all these orders on WordPress, articles and really good pay and stuff like that. And I kind of developed a good relationship with her, just emailing back and forth. And so about a month ago, she emails me and she's like, well, I'm leaving this company and I'm going to another company, but I'll try to be in touch, and maybe I'll have something for you over there, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, that sucks. And so I'm like, well, hey, here's my contact info. And I think that we could have some sort of good working relationship. And I knew it. It's just one of those people. Once in a while you come across in your life. And I knew right away she came into my life at an interesting time and she loved my work. Loved my work, And it was just a really good, hugely mutually beneficial relationship for 6, whatever it's been, 6 months or so. But she left, and I kind of haven't been doing much writing at all since then. It's just the way I do it in the process it hasn't been in my heart at all. Like it's hard to even think about logging in, But anyway, so I was just thinking about her a couple days ago. So start thinking about money. I gotta get serious about money, and gonna have to make some money here. Damn it, yeah, because that's what the world is all about. And so I immediately started thinking about her right away. I was like, okay, so I had kind of planted the seed in that email, over a month ago about, well, maybe we could work together in some other capacity. And she's like, yeah, maybe. But that was it. And I was thinking about her a couple of days ago, checked my email the next morning, and I got an email from her. And she's back at that same company, but she doesn't want to work with me that way anymore. And she's like, I want to work with you directly, and I want to work on some real stuff, some real shit. And let's talk. I was like, sweet. Like, timing could not have been more perfect. That was 2 days ago. So I emailed her back. We emailed yesterday or whatever a couple times. And so today she emails me. Again, we're talking about these seek first the kingdom, right? And all things will be added. And they're just like, bam, automatic. Because I'm just seeking the kingdom. I'm seeking him. And so she had my number. And so she texted me this morning, some information, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, maybe we can talk this afternoon. I'm like, yeah, for sure. And she's like, how about now? I'm like, yeah, for sure. And so she calls me right away, and immediately it's like this friendly voice. And I'm like, felt like I've known her forever. And we had an hour-long conversation, and it was the best professional. It was the best. And Kristen, if you're listening to this, I'm serious. It was. It was the best professional conversation I think I've ever had in my life. And I used to be in the corporate world and stuff. And it was just genuine. It was real, Like, I've got nothing to lose, and, she doesn't either. And it was just real open. It was real open, and I was, we laughed and shared, and it just kind of told a little bit about each other's lives even. And I told her about an article that had been written about her that she didn't even know about. Top 10 women in something. And she's like, what? I didn't know about that. And so it was just a really cool conversation. And at the end of it, she's like, well, because really they're hiring kind of, for a traditional job. Of course, it would be work from home. And we're talking about this like content type job, content management type job. And she's like, you're probably way overqualified. You're way overqualified. I'm like, I don't care about any of that. It's stupid. In my mind, I don't care about being, it's whatever fits into your life at that moment in the perfect way. And so we're talking about this. And I was just like, man, I was like, I don't really, as far as the benefits and all that doesn't mean anything to me. And I kind of got that freelancer spirit and all that. She's like, yeah, no, I get it. That's, that's kind of the kind of company we have. And it just felt real. It wasn't fake at all. It wasn't fake. And that's why I hate the corporate environment. It's all fake. And this woman's not fake, she's cool. And so anyway, it turned into a great conversation about like a long-term contract freelance type thing for writing, and potentially more down the road, but would be, stable and real good money. And we're going to negotiate that. But man, she seems real generous. Like, so now it's a matter of, me sending over a proposal and stuff like that. But it's amazing. Like, it just falls on me. It just falls on me because I'm seeking God. That's the only reason. That's it. Like, the whole world is crumbling down, and I'm like, man, everything's coming together. Everything's coming together. And so it's why I says, man, hit your face on the ground. Hit your face on the ground and just be like, man, whatever I've been doing hasn't worked, and I'm miserable, and I want these blessings. I want these blessings from you. I want to know you. And the blessings will flow. Seek first the kingdom of God. All things will be added. All things. So, keep me in your thoughts about everything that's going on in my life. Man, I tell you, I've been seeing more and more people say this, but man, there's something in the air. I feel it. But God is, that's what I was thinking. Something major going to happen. Is this job even going to matter and all that? Yeah, we still got a plan. We don't know what's coming. We don't know the future. We still got to do the right things as God tells us and as God directs us. And he makes them so obvious. When you seek him, he makes them so obvious you don't even have to worry about it. It's just like, I got off the conversation, shot, quote unquote, my girl or whatever, a text like, you can't believe I just had this awesome conversation. Can't wait to tell you. And I just move on. I'm like, okay, that's cool. All right, on to the next. What do I need to do for God? And I think that's how he wants us living right now. So anyway, head on over to avoidthemark.com/podcast. Again, it's avoidthemark.com/podcast. Check out all of my recent podcasts up to episode 31. This is episode 41, so I'm 10 behind now on getting that updated. But like I keep telling you, I will have Wi-Fi again tomorrow afternoon. So I may do that tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, or maybe Saturday. Get all of that updated. In the meantime, you got 31 to go through on there. And then don't forget about Revelation Free Radio. The link will be in the description. It's a great radio station to chill out, listen to some good music, all my podcasts, and just enjoy that radio vibe, all right? This will probably be the last video for today, unless something happens. So I hope you have a great rest of your day and evening, and I wish you nothing but a pile of